Morning, folks. Heath here. I have an update for you on the book fight with the Cameron School District. They are about to do something that I believe is deliberate. Currently, the district has a bunch of policies in place that kind of help to protect our students. The policies define the process for the selection of a book, either for curriculum or for the library. Those policies also allow the district to restrict a book if it has the sexually explicit adult content in it, so that young children don't have access to it and the parent gets to decide whether or not their children reads that type of content. Those policies are all about to go away on Tuesday night. I have been through these policies, and there's two versions here. One of them is the red line. The red line shows the original language and what they've removed and what they've added to those policies. And the clean one is just that. That is reflecting all of the changes that have been made and are the policies that the board will be voting on that night. Now, those policies that I mentioned that kind of guide the selection of books for the library, the classroom, and allow you and I to challenge a book that we find is inappropriate, those policies are all going to disappear. If the board approves this list of policies, everything, every type of book, every type of content is on the table. There is no policy in this current list of policies that guides the district or allows a parent to control access or challenge a book. It's all gone. They have added something, though, that I would like to show you. Distribution of non-curricular student publications. So this is a policy that applies to students. A student distributed publication. Publication can be a pamphlet, a book, a flyer, a post-it note, whatever. They need permission from the school district. And the district in this policy that will be approved Tuesday night outlines what is prohibited for a student to distribute to other students. And I'd like to read some of these here. The prohibitions include content that are obscene to minors, any person under the age of 18, are libelous, pervasively indecent or vulgar for secondary schools, contain indecent or vulgar languages for elementary. Advertise any product or service not permitted to minors by law. So think cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, I guess even renting a car, signing a telephone contract. A student could not distribute that type of material. Constitute insulting or fighting words, the very expression of which injures or harasses other people. Threats of violence, defamation of character of a person's race, religion, or other ethnic origin. This content that I've just read to you is in the books that we've challenged with the district. There is excessive use of drugs and alcohol, cigarettes, the normalization, even the glorification of the use of those items. There are sexually explicit content, indecent, pervasively indecent, and vulgar content that is in the books. So the district has a policy that prohibits students from distributing that type of content to other students, but they have no policy that prohibits the district from distributing the same thing. They are doing this because they have an obligation to protect the students. There are many Supreme Court cases that outline that they have to protect the students. That's why they do random drug testing within the school districts, for example, because they have an obligation to protect our children. And vulgar and indecent content is one of those things that they have the obligation to protect the kids from. That's why the student handbook says students may not use that type of language. Students may not wear articles of clothing that have vulgar and indecent content on them. They have an obligation to protect. Why then does the district get to provide the very thing that a student is prohibited from distributing? Why does the district get to distribute that very same content to the kids? This is a double standard, folks. This policy for the students should apply to the staff as well. There is no policy that will prohibit staff from giving this very content to our kids. We cannot challenge the content that they do give. We can't complain about the content that they add to the libraries and to our classrooms. There is no protection for the student. The gloves are off. There are no restrictions on the school district if they pass these policies on Tuesday night. Folks, please show up to that board meeting. These policies are on the agenda for under items for consideration. You do not need to be on the agenda to get 3 minutes to address the board about these policies. This is a problem. If we don't show up in force and let them know that there is serious concern about this content, they're going to be able to do whatever they want. Tuesday night, they approved the policies. If we cannot convince them to add policies to protect our kids, they know that this content doesn't belong in the hands of kids, and they're deleting and removing the policy that prohibits or protects our kids from reading this garbage.